Am I gonna turn on a light? Is this is this happening? Yeah, that looks great, LT. Really good lighting. Really good on the lighting. What is Hello everyone. Welcome to the Scary Podcast. Hosted by Benjels. Let me turn on a different light. This is a podcast, by the way. It's been several months since the last episode of this podcast. Where have I been? Where has LT been? Well, oh, there we go. That's beautiful. That's great. Really good lighting. Where have I been? Well, the thing is, I don't think anyone just watches this podcast and has no idea who I am. I'm a nobody. Well, no one stumbles across this podcast. I don't believe. If you do, then that's really freaking weird. Well, how have you guys been? I've missed this. We've gained 1 subscriber since I last posted this. I'm trying to look up really quick what's the last thing I posted. The reason why I haven't done a podcast, well, here. So the last podcast was August 11th, 2018, and it was titled my new rap song, Absolute Banter Mate. Then I posted on September 17th, Top 30 Incredible Life Hacks. Then a really weird why I still post FIFA videos on November 6th. So, since August 11th, I had a good streak, man. I had a really good streak. The first podcast was April 29th. Dang. Why did I break the streak? Oh, I'm so disappointed in myself. We'll just call that season 1, shall we? There's no real reason why I ended the streak. I think actually it's because I lost, I ran out of things to talk about. Because I don't really have a lot of things to talk about normally. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, though. Actually, this is why. This always happens to me. I think I have a problem, we'll say. I'll have an idea, and then, it'll make sense in my head. So for this example, the reason why I hadn't posted a podcast, or why I stopped posting podcasts, was because I ran out of stuff to talk about, and then I thought, this is kind of boring. I want to get a build up, if you will, and then I'll have a thing to talk about. But then I forget that I thought that. I forget that reason that I just gave, which, in my opinion, thinking of it right now, that's actually not a bad idea, because sometimes podcasts can get stale, especially if it's just a single person podcast. You definitely run out of things to talk about. It's not like a conversation where you can bounce back and forth. I keep playing with this hat. I've listened to a lot of podcasts. My podcast game has gone up because of work. Driving an hour to and from work, podcast game goes up substantially. And you know what I've come across? Boys? It doesn't actually matter what you say. To a certain extent. I don't know why. I'm so annoying. Because I'll be like my worst critic, and I'm my worst critic, and I'll hate everything that I do, even if it's pretty good or if it's like okay at all. And then I'll get down on myself. I thought the podcasts weren't doing so well because the views didn't really seem to be going up and people didn't want to come over. So I'm like, screw it. Duh. And then I abandoned it. And then 6 months later, I come back and say, you know what, actually, podcasting does sound kind of cool. Let me do that. And then I'll start from scratch, basically. It's like if you're doing a level and you have to get up to level 10. And then what I always do is I start at 0 and I'm really excited to do 0, and then I get to level 7 and then I'm like, no, screw it. I don't want it. And then I wait 6 months and then I start back from level 0. Guys, it's December. Wow. A lot has changed. Actually, let's do this. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. It's what has changed since August 11th? So let's see. You had September. Let me go through the dates, actually. August 11th. I hadn't even played PES yet. Maybe that's why I stopped. Because through that whole time from April, was it? Well, yeah, okay, April 29th until August 11th, that whole stretch, there was no video games to be played for me. I guess I played Fortnite, but I'll talk about Fortnite in a second. So I was playing nothing, and I still wanted to do content. Oh, that was really weird, actually. Over the summer, because I just need to put... I think my brain doesn't work. I think my brain has been broken by YouTube. I feel like if I don't post a video, then my day has been unsuccessful. It's like objective failed. We'll get them next time, basically. And then, you know what's weird? I think a lot of people are posting podcasts now. I'm so excited to do podcasts again that my brain is jumping all over the place. I've forgotten how to do a podcast. You have to stay on one topic. You know who has a podcast that I was listening to? Bill Burr. Bill Burr has a podcast, and it's like he just doesn't care. It's him doing a podcast because it gets him money, and him complaining about things, which is what Bill Burr does really well. And it's so funny. We should all be Bill Burr. What was the first podcast I listened to? I didn't even know what a podcast was a couple years ago. Actually, no, that's not true. I think the first podcast I listened to is the Spencer FC podcast. Is anyone... That's a shout out. That's a throwback, I mean. I can't say words. That's a throwback. The Spencer FC podcast, that was from like 2015? Is that right? 2015 or 2016? That was so long ago. Holy crap. What year is it? 2018? Oh my gosh, time is really weird, don't you think? It's the welcome to the Reminisce podcast, hosted by yours truly, guy who plays... I cut my hair today. I don't know if I like it. I did some weird thing on the sides because I wanted to be a European soccer bro. And I look kind of weird. That's why I'm playing with my hat so much, because I'm self-conscious about my weird haircut that I gave myself. Every month or so, I'll cut my own hair, and I need to get my sister to do the back. Not like that. Stop it. So, what happens basically is I strip down to my underwear, and then I'm in the bathroom shaving myself, and then I ask her to come in and just trim the back because I can't do that. So that happens about once a month. I think the first time I ever cut my hair... Actually, I haven't been to a barber since 2014, I think. Wait, is that right? I remember 2014, my senior year of high school, like the very last month. Actually, no, it was right before my last exam. I just randomly... this is so weird. I remember Coldplay's album, the one with Magic, had just come out, and I was really excited. I'm a huge Coldplay fan. So I went and I went to Target with my sister, and then I bought the CD version of that album. What is that called? Ghost Stories. Yeah. Ghost Stories. If you haven't listened to it, I don't know. Some people will probably make fun of me because I'm a Coldplay fan. I like Coldplay. I don't care. So I bought that, and then I bought a hair cutting kit from Target. And I got a really crappy one, but it was like $20. Oh, I forgot rule number 1 about the podcast. This shows you how long it's been. I didn't bring water. So then I think actually I made my sister cut my hair that time because I had never done it before, so I was too afraid about cutting my own hair. But I had her cut my hair, and we listened to Coldplay, his new album. And I think that's a shorter one. That's not a great story. My stories are bad. What's new with you guys? Where do I want to go with this podcast? Oh yeah, I was just streaming Fortnite, and I realized that I don't want to be a Fortnite streamer, or I don't want to be a video game streamer even. I don't think I want to be a streamer. For a very long time, I thought I wanted to be a streamer. And then, actually, you know what? It's weird because you get into a groove when you do a podcast or do something on a regular basis, and you just forget about stories. I actually have a really crazy story, which I think you probably I don't think any of you will know this, but the first stream I ever did, I think this was 2015. I might have deleted it, but the first stream I ever did was a live reaction to Arsenal versus Barcelona in the Champions League in February. Wait, was that? Oh yeah! Holy crap! How did I never say this? So I had actually. Oh my gosh! Thinking about how weird this is now, because I had no idea about streaming back then. Streaming was not popular. So anyway, this is the story. It was February of 2000. Actually, no, it's 2016. Yeah, I was taking an econ class in college, and it was really hard. And we had a huge exam, and I did it, and I thought I'm a pretty good test taker, so I did it, and I thought I don't think I got all of them right, but I probably did okay. I mean, because I would get it down. It was multiple choice, so out of 4. And I always get it down to 1 or to 2 answers. I know it's either of those. And there were only 10 multiple choice questions and then 2 short answers. And I thought I probably got one of those short answers okay. The other one I probably got wrong. And then I probably got at least 3 of those I knew for the multiple choice. Probably out of the remaining 7, I have like a 50% chance of each. So I'm thinking I got like a 6 out of 10 and then 1 out of 2 on the on the short answer. Anyway, this fast forward, I actually failed that test really badly, and I got like a 3 out of 10 on multiple choice and missed both short answer. So I almost failed that class. I didn't. But anyway, so I took that exam, and I thought I probably didn't do too well, but whatever. I get home, and I think I had maybe done like 1 test stream before on Twitch of me just streaming through the PS4 playing FIFA, and I thought this is kind of fun, but I don't really know, it's kind of weird. And then I thought, it'd be interesting, which I still think could be an interesting idea, but I don't really think I have the means to do it. I thought, it'd be cool if I reacted to a soccer game or a football match. And I knew that you can't just like have the stream up and then you're watching it. Like, you can do that with the reaction video. At least I think you can. I don't really know how copyright rules work, but I know you can't just be showing a live stream of a sporting event. It's illegal. It's pirating. So, anyway, I titled the video like, this was back when I would post in all caps. I did Barcelona versus Arsenal Champions League, and I got 18,000 viewers, like concurrent. I had 18,000 people watching me at one time, and I thought, this is so weird. That feeling is what a crackhead must feel like. I genuinely think that, because I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to become a millionaire. This is it. And even though, like, in the back of my mind, I was like, I probably failed that exam, or I didn't do too well. But then in the front of my mind, I was like, I have 18,000 people watching me right now. This is awesome. Most of them were coming because they thought I was streaming the actual thing, and they're like, hey bro. I don't know what accent this is, but hey bro, hey show video, asshole, show it. And I'm like, I can't, I'm sorry. And then it was weird because I had never had that kind of power before. And so I started like seeing what I could do, because I think most of them were probably young kids. I assume most people know you can't just go to YouTube and type in Arsenal Barcelona live stream, and you're not going to find it. You might find like something that looks like it, and then you click on it and it's just a blank screen and it says go to the links down below, and then it's just a website that gives you a virus. So I assume most of them were little kids, and I think I might have been correct, at least to a certain extent, because I would randomly, people were getting mad at me, and I was like, I need to somehow swing this in my favor. How will I make them all my friend? So then I started saying, like, I would pick a random person, like I would pick whoever was saying asshole, hey you asshole, and I would say, hey XX lover 27, I love you. Can we get love in the chat for XX lover 27? And then everyone would just randomly put a heart symbol and then be like, XX lover 27, we love you. And then that person would go, oh, thanks, bro. Sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm so sorry. You're awesome. I love you too. And that would just happen over and over again. That was wild. I don't know if I had 18,000. I know I had 18,000 views on that, and it was for a long time the highest viewed video of mine, and I didn't like it. I think I even made money from it, but I didn't like it because I thought it was so crappy, and I didn't want someone to eventually come to my channel and be like, "Oh, I wonder what his most popular video is," and then you click on it, and the start to any live stream for me is always me with a weirdly dumb face, and I'm clicking, and then it's silent for like 5 seconds, and then it's me going, "Oh, is this working?" That's the start to every live stream. So I didn't want to do that. There's also one portion in it where I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so many people watching me right now. And I get up and I go to the bathroom and I don't close the bathroom and I start peeing. And then I don't think it's probably 15 feet away. The bathroom was. This is in my apartment. And then I get back and then all the comments are, OMG, you can hear I'm peeing. I'm like, oh no. Oh dear. Yeah, that was wild. That's still the most people I've ever had in a stream. I don't know if I had 18,000 at one time or 1,800. Maybe that's it. Maybe I had 1,800. Because 18,000 is that, comparing that to like what Twitch people get, that is more than most Twitch people. Like Castro, I'm pretty sure hovers around 10,000. So to have 18,000 people in my first ever live stream, that was really weird. So anyway, that ended, and then I thought maybe I'll try this again. So I did it with like not a Champions League game, but a Premier League match. I think I did the North London Derby, Arsenal Tottenham, and I got a pretty good amount of people coming, but nothing near as what I had before. And those videos, like, I always say this, I don't care about the numbers. Like, I wouldn't want my life to be posting videos and knowing that really the only reason why people are coming to that video is because they think it's something else and they don't think it's what it is. Like, they're not expecting just a guy looking and playing like a FIFA. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing, because I couldn't just record my face. I didn't have OBS. I didn't have a computer strong enough to just do OBS. So I had to run it through my PS4. So people probably clicked on it because they saw the thumbnail, which was FIFA, and it kind of like, it doesn't look that realistic, but it looks like a person. So people probably thought that was the actual game, and they're like, oh, finally we got one. It's not just the Champions League logo and then the Arsenal and Barcelona. It's actually the thing. But then they click it and it's just me playing FIFA while watching it. So anyway, I wouldn't want that to be my career, because it's not. I get bored of things so quickly. I have like, I don't want to say I have ADHD, because I don't have ADHD, but I just get bored of things incredibly quickly. So I would hate that for that to be my life, where it's just like, all right, we're going to trick a bunch of 5-year-olds into watching my stream again, and then I'll say I love you. That sounds great. That reminds me of, there's some app that's like a live streaming app, but it's from your phone, and people can gift you, they gift you items, but they're not real items. It'll be like, XXLover27 gifted you a golden pineapple, and then the golden pineapple is really the equivalent to like $100. People do this because people are more likely to buy things as gifts if they're not directly correlated to money. That's why on Twitch they're called bits and not just like a dollar amount, because 1 bit is 1 cent. So like 100 bits is $1. Why do you not just say he gave you $1? Like, they do have donations that like are dollar amounts, but people are supposedly more likely to donate if they're not directly related to money. So people will just, I don't know, that's just so weird and so not exhilarating or exciting for me. Just getting money and all you have to do is sit there and like you don't do anything. I know I'm sitting here and doing a podcast. What am I doing that's so special? I don't get money from this, so it's whatever. But I don't know, that just doesn't seem like it's that fun. Even so, the whole point of this is like I'm trying to figure out if I want to do live streaming, if I want to be a Twitch streamer. First of all, I think it's way too difficult now. There's so many people because of Fortnite has really thrown like a loop in everything. Every single person, I was playing the Pop-Up Cup, which is kind of like competitive Fortnite. Every single person that you play that's decent at the game has .ttv or twitch.tv in their name, because they see how all these people are so popular on Twitch. And so the thought is, oh, if I'm good at Fortnite, why don't I have thousands of viewers? This could be my career. I can hear my neighbors. I wonder if they can hear my podcast. Hello, I'm doing a podcast in my parents' basement. But the thing is, it's such selective. What is it called? Selective bias? Selective bias? Is that what it's called? Good thing I have the internet in front of me. Selection bias? Is what proper? I guess that's it. I guess that selection bias. Well, survivor effect. That's what it's called. Survivor bias. Yeah. So survivorship bias. I hate when people do this, but I feel like I have to do it, where you explain something, and I feel like most of you guys are gonna know what survivorship bias is, but just because there could be one person who's watching this like, what is survivorship bias? Survivorship bias is basically when you see the people who made it. So you see all these successful Twitch streamers, so then you assume that you can do it too, but then you don't think about all the people who have failed at Twitch streaming. So in your mind, you're like, if they can do it, I can do it. It seems like this is a really good gig. I'm going to do it. But then you're not thinking about all the other people who have the exact same thought. And so it becomes way more difficult than what you expected. And in the end, you don't become a Twitch streamer and then you live in your parents' basement. What? That sounds so strange. That would never happen. But anyway, I used to after that whole streaming fiasco with the live events, I switched to actually playing FIFA and claiming it was FIFA. I remember FIFA 16. That was the first one, right, with Weekend League? I would do Weekend League live streams. Wait, what years? No, I think that must have been FIFA 17. Whatever FIFA had the first Weekend League, I would do Weekend League streams, and I would play like 20 games on a Saturday. This was while I was in college too. And I wouldn't go. Why did I do that? I never went out. I would just spend my Saturdays streaming FIFA. And it was because I thought, if I just put the work in, I'm gonna become a FIFA streamer. This is what my calling is. This is how I'm gonna entertain people. And then I remember there was one where I did the Hefele challenge. Such a stupid thing. If you didn't know, Hefele is a player for Huddersfield. I believe as a center back. He's German, and for some reason he got a striker inform, or like a special card for some. I think it was the what do you call the FA Cup? I believe it was the FA Cup. He got put on as a striker and he scored, and so he got an orange card. It was terrible. It was such a bad card. But anyway, I thought, if I do this and I do well in the Weekend League, I'm going to get subscribers, and they're going to come to my channel and they're going to say, oh my gosh, you played with Hefele at striker and you got gold 1? So I played with Hefele at striker for a whole Weekend League, and I got gold 1. And I was like, this is the biggest accomplishment anyone has ever accomplished in their life. And there was only one person the whole live stream. It was Sound Theory. I don't know if Sound Theory watches these. But I remember Sound Theory watched that whole thing. And then I posted it on Reddit, and then like maybe like one person came over. I don't know. I think Aaron Flatt might have. I don't know if Aaron Flatt watches these, but I think Aaron Flatt might have come over from that because he's a Huddersfield fan. Anyway, so I kept doing those live streams, and I would do like 6 to 8 hour live streams. I think even up to last year I would do that, and I never hit more than like 20 viewers. And then fast forward to now, if I do a FIFA Weekend League live stream, I can probably get 100 viewers, which isn't really that many, but it's like a decent amount. The thing is, someone brought this up in that, so when I post to Twitch, when I stream on Twitch, I only get like 1 or 2 people. And I don't really want a lot of people. I don't think I like streaming, is what I'm trying to get at. he was mentioning, this is Last Night's. I don't know if Last Night's watches these either, but he was saying that I get 100 viewers on FIFA live streams, which is way better than last year, that is all completely true. But the thing is, I just don't actually care about the numbers of viewers, because it's almost like I get scared. If I had 1,000 viewers every live stream, I don't know if I would feel like I would feel obligated that I have to continue that because those people are watching. That's also one of the thing about YouTube is they don't have subscribers like Twitch does. If I had Twitch subscribers, I would feel locked in. I hate commitment. That's my problem. That is the root of all my problem. I hate commitment. I hate being locked into something. Because if I'm locked into being a Twitch streamer and I have subscribers and people are paying me money to play video games, then I'm gonna shut down. I don't know why that's how I react, but that's how I react. That's why I would hate being a Twitch streamer, because I don't want people to have expectations of me. Because I know that I don't know. I guess I know that I don't always hit expectations. This is this is why I called this my therapy session, because I talk about things that are stuck in my head. So maybe I need to learn how to not be a little bit maybe I need to learn to have not commitment issues, I guess. I don't know why that is. That's a strange thing. I wanted to make these funny. How do I make these funny, guys? Give me stuff to talk about. My new rap song, Absolute Banter Mate. I wonder what this was. Am I going to be able to hear this? Line 3, audio renderer error. Please restart your computer. Oh, please don't. Oh my, I'm about to do something really stupid. I'm going to break something and I'm going to lose all this audio, and then my coming to Jesus moment on my podcast is going to be broken. I'm going to just stop touching the computer. Yeah, man. Wow. What has changed since that time? Okay, well, anyway, I never went through this, but August 11th, Pez came out. August 28th, I'm assuming. It was around then. So that's probably part of the reason why I stopped this podcast, because I wanted to focus on these games, man. Because I was going kind of crazy not uploading anything, because if I uploaded something not related to soccer, football, sue me, people would unsubscribe, and I actually went down. I remember I was stuck at like 7,392 subscribers. Why do I have such good memory of numbers? That's like, why do I know that number? I'm good at phone numbers too, if you ever want to. I was stuck at 7,392. Then I went up to 7,400. And then I started posting. I posted videos on the main channel that were not related to video games or FIFA. I think it was Fortnite. I posted Fortnite videos. I think I posted this podcast. That's what it was. Yeah, I posted podcast episodes. At least they were like shorter episodes. Or like I had that. I hate this. I hate how rambling I am right now. I posted that I would do World War II Modern Warfare or Call of Duty World War II commentary videos, and that actually made people unsubscribe. That was a year ago. Wow. I still remember that day vividly when I bought Call of Duty World War II. I never played that game. I wasted $60. Oh, you know what else I wasted $60 on? Freaking Football Manager. I thought Football Manager would be great, and I'd love it. It's so complicated. I couldn't do it. I had a Wolves or Fulham career mode, and I got fired. I got sacked from a video game. Oh gosh. Yeah. This is so weird for me. I'm all jittery. I feel like, because in my mind I'm thinking this is a with the FIFA videos, I don't have to be on the whole time. Like, I don't have to try to be. I'm trying to be funny right now. if I don't try to be funny, I kind of just shut down, and I'm people think I'm like angry or I'm depressed when I'm really just like I'm contemplative is what I like to say. I'm always thinking about stuff. And then people are just like, "Why are you in a bad mood?" I'm like, I'm not in a bad mood. I'm just thinking about things. I wouldn't even say I'm depressed. I'm like always thinking, and it makes me seem, you know how some people have resting bitch face where they look like they're always angry? I always look like I'm sad or I'm confused. Maybe I'm sad and confused. That's me. But that's generally not true. I'm always thinking about either a YouTube video or like some music. I don't know. Music always gets stuck in my head. Since that time I did I'm going to keep mentioning this, but I'm actually extremely proud of this. This is probably the most, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Getting 5,000 subscribers on YouTube is pretty big for me. But I genuinely think that my EP, which I did this all like in my basement. I did in my basement, in my car, and I think that the music is not that bad. And some people have told me this music is not that bad. And that's all I'm going for. Just not that bad. 5 songs. And I sometimes listen to them because I think, hey, this is pretty catchy. I appreciate all the listens that you guys have given that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Long Transaction on Spotify, on anything like that. I'm just five songs that I made. And I listen to a podcast, the Tiny Meat Gang podcast, and they always make fun of Russ because Russ always mentions how he like mixes and masters his own stuff. And I still think Russ is he's funny, and I don't think I laugh at him too because he's like, I don't like people who always say, I do my own thing, man. I always mix and master my own material. Because like I don't like people who humble brag or try to act like they're cool because they do their own thing. But I will say, I recorded all this, like I did all this whole EP by my own. I mixed and mastered it myself, and I played all the instruments and the vocals and whatever. I had to figure it all out, and it was hard. Like 4 years ago, is it 4? Yeah, 4 years ago, I had no idea how to do any of this. I had absolutely no clue. And to think about in 4 years, I was able to make this, which is not, it's not like, I'm not saying when I was able to make this, I'm not saying this masterpiece, which I created. I'm saying something that is on Spotify actually sounds pretty professional in my opinion, or at least like it doesn't stand out in a bad way. You listen to it and you're not like, what is this? Why is it? I can tell this guy made this in his basement. I mean, I think it sounds okay. And that's why when you start something and then you have a goal, because 4 years ago, I remember summer of 2014 after I graduated high school, I don't know why I suddenly just got into this. Oh, no. I probably have mentioned this on this podcast before. This is why I took the break, because I'll start repeating the same thing over and over again. But because I got a MacBook and it had GarageBand on it, that's why I suddenly started getting into making music. Because I already knew how to play guitar somewhat, but I already knew how to play piano. I wasn't good at singing. I don't think I'm that good at singing now, but I couldn't sing at all. And so that was the MacBook I got for college, but then it just happened to have GarageBand. And actually, a story about that, which I never mentioned, I wanted to become a video game recorder, kind of like what I do now. I wanted to record FIFA, or at least video games. So I downloaded Team Fortress 2 onto the MacBook, and I played it, and I tried to record it. It didn't work, so I abandoned that quickly. But I thought that I could use that. My first thought was not to record music, but to record video games. And then when that didn't work, I switched to music because it didn't require so much capacity of the CPU and stuff like that. But I remember I really wanted to make my own studio. I had no money because I didn't have a job. But what I did was I bought, oh man, this is talking about uh like 4 years ago. It's so weird how it gives you those nostalgic feelings, because I remember that so clearly, and I was like, I was sitting right over there, like 5 feet from here, and so much has changed. Now I have a green screen. This is so weird. Well, anyway, I wanted to record, and I didn't have a microphone. I was using the microphone that was built into the MacBook Air, which that's not how it works. So I had a gift card for my graduation party for like $30 or $40 for Best Buy. So I bought a Samson, Samson, like a USB portable Go mic. I don't know what it's called. It has good reviews still. It's about $40, and you plug it in it's a USB mic, and then it's meant for like, I don't know what it's really meant for because it doesn't record clearly. But I had that, and then I had a ukulele, and I was upstairs when I first got this, and I had no idea what I was doing. I was just I wanted to be Ed Sheeran, but with a ukulele. And so I was trying to, the way he does it, Ed Sheeran does it, is he loops something. So it's pretty simple. Like maybe he'll play like a G, an E, and a C. And then he'll just loop that 4-bar thing over and over again, and then he'll build on top of it. And so I was trying to do that, but I had no idea how to record anything, so it was in time. I had no idea how to quickly delete and like get rid of stuff. So I spent probably an hour and a half like with this little Samson Go mic, and then a ukulele and a MacBook Air, and I was trying to figure out how to do things, and it just sounded terrible, and like the timing was way off. For the first probably year and a half or 2 years of recording any music, I got better pretty quickly at recording stuff, but it was mainly live stuff that I recorded. But for the first year and a half or 2 years, I had no idea how to do timing. And I didn't realize that you can quantize things, so the computer basically puts it in time for you by hitting the Q button for quantize. How do you not know that? That's like the number one thing to know. And that makes, if you guys didn't know that actually makes your life so much simpler. What I used to do was I would record the whole song, because that's the only way I could think of it to keep it in time. And then I would, because it wouldn't actually be in time, I would have to manually click like the drum snare, whatever beat I wanted in the background. So let's say I was playing a guitar riff throughout. So I'd play the guitar riff for 3 minutes. I'd make mistakes in it, but I would say, well, that's the best you're going to get, because I didn't realize you can loop things. Which, what? How do you not know that? But anyway, I would record it in one setting, and it would make mistakes, and then the timing would be wrong. So then I would have to manually click like a drum snare, and then that would be wrong too. And that's why I don't know if those are up still. I think they probably are. You can probably find those videos somewhere. Some of that music, it's weird because that music has aspects of it which I really like the genuineness. Is that a word? Genuity? Whatever. Because it was some of my first music, there was a lot more, it wasn't like I was stuck kind of saying the same things over and over again. Like, they weren't just random. I don't sing love songs really, but the words actually had a pretty deep meaning. It's not to say that the songs that I do now don't, but they had a deeper meaning because they were like the first things I ever did. And it's almost like it was beginner's luck that was the way it was. It's just a shame that the production of those songs is so bad. I've always thought that I should go back, because I already have the chords and everything, and I have the lyrics. I should just re-record them. That might actually be something I eventually do. But at the same time, I feel like there's a point where you just move on. And you can listen to those, and it's not like it burns your ears, but you can listen to it and you're like, this sounds weird. The mastering is way off. Like, it's like my first YouTube videos. I remember, I already mentioned this on the podcast, I know for a fact, but when I first made my FIFA videos, I didn't understand how volume worked. And so when I would just import the audio, it would be way too low. So then my idea of making the audio better was to just put so much gain on it that it became distorted. So I would turn the volume all the way up on iMovie, and it would just it would distort the audio and make it really weird, but it would be loud enough so you could hear it. And then one day, I think it was Sound Theory who said this. He goes, "Great video, man. What's up with the audio though?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? What is up with the audio?" Yeah, I think Sound Theory's from Argentina. Boca Juniors River Plate tomorrow, guys. Boca Juniors River Plate from the Santiago Bernabeu. That is, one time in college, we were talking about Santiago Bernabeu, or no, my German teacher was asking me about Spain or for some reason, and I said, "Oh, yeah, my dad used to live near the Santiago Bernabeu." So now every time I think of the Santiago Bernabeu, I think of that moment in that class where I said die Ecke, which I believe is correct for around the corner. Wait, would you say die Santiago Bernabeu? Whatever. I'm getting us a German grammar. Is this the German grammar podcast? Is that what you guys signed up for? We hit 40 minutes. I rambled very well. This was such a... Why did I stop this? I love this podcast. I'm excited. Thank you guys for watching this podcast. Drop a like. I will see you hopefully next week. I wanted to do podcasts in my car, but I couldn't figure out the audio for it. So this will do. Thank you guys. Don't forget to spare pets.